This is a lot for inspirational preschool education based on Montessori training materials. They start out in sections. We have like a cleaning section and also basic skills like buckling, tying. Also have water pouring exercises, more cleaning, sifting, water pouring, scooping, mystery purses to open, transferring materials. This would be a polishing tray, lacing. This is thonging, sewing, making bubbles, a little tea party tray. This would be for hand washing. So a lot of these materials, it takes me a long time to collect them. I pretty much get them from all over the state, although a lot of the standard Montessori materials are new. This would be vegetable tray, matching vegetables, lockbox. This is half and whole with a few objects there. This would be a nice sorting basket. There's some fruit in there to sort out. And of course, serving is a part of practical life, so there's a lot of different tools here: knife cutting, peeling, a tray to cut on. This is a place setting set. It's the first time I've used that this year. This is actually my 6th time I've put a set together, and so that's kind of nice when I get to add some new things. This is a sorting tray of boards. This is a color matching basket, and you've got your folding cloths. Nice soft fabric. This is getting into sensorial, but actually this particular tray is language. So it's like it's on or it's beside. And color matching. Basic, that would be color matching 2, and then color matching 3. You're at 6 different colors of various assortments. And then sound boxes matching. This would be sandpaper matching. And then here's your knobless cylinders. You'll notice it's packed because it's brand new, and when I ship it to you I want it to be packed as well. So one of the things I did have noticed is that for smaller spaces they actually have some smaller Montessori materials. So these would be the knob cylinders, the triangle boxes, the pink tower, the brown stair. So instead of like a 10 millimeter, it's a 7 millimeter, so it takes a little bit less space, but you can do the same thing with it. There's some extra cards for that. Geometric solids, color mixing. There's a mystery bag with a variety of things in it. And here we have taste matching with cards that show the different tastes in the mouth. And here we have smelling matching and cards to show what things you are that you're smelling. Instead of having a big paint board, I usually like to just do it on a tray and leave paper there, but then also have some matching art cards so you can show different kinds of art forms. And then let's see, this is fabric matching with a blindfold. Some geometric shape forming with rubber bands in a tray. I always have a basket of musical instruments. Let's see, I think there's a harmonica down there. Yeah. So again, a lot of some of these materials will be used, some will be new. This is new, never been used. They're the different drawing shapes, and they have them in metal or plastic. This happens to be plastic. They cost about half as much, but they do the same thing. So that's why we went with that this year. This is food groups and different cards for that. Here's some paper for the insects. And then here's a mat for movable letters. Movable letters are all here in this box. Again, these things are new, a lot of them, so They're still in the wrapping, but this is sandpaper, uppercase letters and lowercase letters. And then for pink, I have a pink box. And in the pink box, this is like A. And there'll be four to five exercises in each one of these. So, take these out here. You've got like word lists, rhyming, three-part cards, and then in here are just words. So the way that I do cards is I laser print the images, and then I spray mount them with Gorilla Glue to a hardboard, and then I trim them out, and then I wrap them in clear shelf liner. And what that does is it creates cards that are waterproof and very hard. So you can see we've got all the vowels in here, and each one of them will have just what we saw in the A group. And then these aren't necessarily Montessori, but they're pretty fun. I don't know if they all make words. I don't know what a PID would be, but a fit. And din, maybe short for dinner. But those are kind of fun hands-on materials. This is a cup, a dog, a rib, a jet, a saw. So one object each, although like any collection of learning materials, you always want to collect as you go along and see things so that you can build up. A lot of the stuff we have here wouldn't be set out like this all year long. You would start with the very minimum and then work up to it. Next is blue reading, and these are single words that are wrapped. Now on these ones I think I just did a lamination on them because I've noticed that these particular kinds of cards don't get handled quite as much, but so there would be words to object matching, and then there would be lists in the back, blue lists. So just a couple of those, and again you can always be adding to your language collection. I don't think there's ever a point where you can get where you don't have everything that you could use. Here in the green section, word lists, but there's also these categories like EY, so you can flip through there and see all the EY words. And part of green is the silent E, which we've seen here on this particular word list. Actually, these are all the IE, but this one's got it where you can go like this, or you can go and add the E to it, and all of a sudden it sounds different. So those are greens and blues. But obviously you would start first with the basic letter sounds. And so I've got a shelf here that's got all the letter boxes on it. And each box has, here's a whole chain of them, words and images. So you can take off the main ring, the one ring of the letter sound. These are beginning sounds. And then you look up here at the A box. They have a thing here so they can only go back so far. It's got the big letter and the little letter. And the way these work is you pull on the opening in the box to get it out, empty it out. There's a big A. Here's the ant, an angel, an alligator. And this is an apple stamp, which you can use that for math too. I also recommend collecting stamps of various things when you're using beginning sounds, because the children seem to appreciate that a lot. So you've got in these boxes, let's see, what would be a... P always has lots of objects, so does B and L. But they're between 3 and 4 objects each, and you're going to find in these beginning sound picture words, one card for each object in the box. And then this is for the metal inset, your colored pencils. Here's an extra alphabet letter, so if you wanted to, on this particular rack, put it there, you could tape those down. That way when they put the box back, they can put them back in order. The reason I didn't put them down there is because you might want to do it differently. This box is for cutting practice. So it's got shapes, and it's got scissors, And it's got, this is cards for straight and wavy lines matching. Let's see, what do we have in here? Paper punch and a pencil sharpener. There's also command cards. That would be for more advanced reading. And then up here is for practice of writing. This is a dry erase board with some colors. This is object box. We have a lot of 3-part cards coming up, but when I have a puzzle, I usually like to have an object with it, and so all those objects have puzzles. This is your counting rods, some sandpaper letters, some counting cards, so they would put the bead on the dot. Spindle box. This is number and object matching. This is a set hands-on where you can do some matching of the math. You could do the beats first, and then you could come in and do this. Now these also can be put down there, so I do the beats first, the numbers second, and the objects third. Or any way you want to do it, really. Here's your decimal introduction set. A couple beads there. And love working with beads. Here's your beads again, 1 through 10. There's a number chart and a place for the beads to go. And also we have the box, so they can do counting with all those beads. Let's see, what's this? Oh, stamp game. Yeah, we're further down. And this is your introduction to decimal cards. That would go along with the decimal introduction. Skittles for fractions. 1, 2, 3 fourths. Here's just the game boards. So this would be counting 1 through 20. And then your tens can go 11, 21, 31, 41, 51, or 11, 22, 33, 44. So there are ways to show how you can count in the decimal system. And then this is a 100 board. It's got a card on the top there, but it's actually wood chips in there. And then addition board, which again is new. And although they have a separate subtraction board, I've kind of found you can use subtraction with addition. And let's see, we have a clock. We've got time cards that go with that. This one's a little unusual. I guess this is the calendar boat, you might call that. But here's a guide to go by. But you can, these are all magnetic, so you can put those on there. I would start, with one each month, and then every day another person could find the next letter that would go there. So, like that. Something a little unusual, I guess. I like working with magnetics. So you can also turn that over and just put everything inside the basket, if you want to do that. Fun way to do math. And then measurements. So we've got different types of volumes here with measuring cups, spoons, measuring tape, a ruler, and with these cards describes what each volume is. Here it's talking about a cup. And then, we just moved out of math and now we're going into science. So this is just a box of visual things, like a kaleidoscope, binoculars, magnifying glass. This is another type of magnifying glass, old-fashioned style. And then this is a prism, glass prism. Let's see if we can get any colors showed up there. It's kind of hard to video from here. So that's kind of the visual box. And then this is weights, the weight basket. And this is minerals, and here we've got a sample of the mineral. And then the cards, 3-part cards. We've got living and non-living cards. We've got different types of birds and 3-part cards. Different kinds of insects and 3-part cards. Here's your standard puzzles. There's 5 of them all together. Here's the fish one. So I mentioned that I always put an object with a fish. This is, or with the puzzles. So this guy, kind of one of the bigger objects, but you don't see those too often. And then here's your 3-part cards for describing that. This has to do with recycling, and it shows different things that you can recycle in there. And you've got some recycle matching cards, recycle, reuse. Let's see, in a nice little garbage can they can throw those objects in. And then here's a magnetic, non-magnetic. Okay, moving across to geology. Here's individual boxes for the different continents. There's North America. And in here you will find animals that live on those continents. This is the first year I've used safari tube animals on everything because they're kind of, you know, more in scale to each other. And then they'll have 3-part cards. And you can always add more to that. Sometimes add pictures of things you might find on the continents or different objects like different coins. Here's your planisphere. And here's 3-part cards for the planisphere. This is pin poking exercise with the different colors of the continents. This is land, water, air cards. This is land and water formation cards. And then you've got the standard Montessori globe. Also included are some books. Here's just a few of them. This is about half the amount of books. The other ones are geared more towards, well, they're all educational, except there's here a little more fun, like Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. But other books that I have relate to, like it might relate to dinosaurs or food or your body. Although there's one book here that I put together, and this is again one of those things you can keep adding to. Here's land, farmland, beach. So it goes into land, and then it'll get into water, and then it'll get into air. So just from my experience of in the past of reading that to children, they really enjoy it because even though they may not be able to read the words, they can say the words because they recognize the image. And then here's more cards. This is tool matching, and there's also another one in the file that is, what was it? Food matching. So 3-part cards and objects. Here's animal families. Here's head to tail matching. Here's different kinds of trees. Here's transportation. So it's got the 3-part cards, and then it's got the individual objects. These are all plastic, and the paint on them is non-toxic, so they're safe for children. These are pets, family pets, 3-part cards. Whales and 3-part cards. Put that down there. This is going to be a matching sequence of cards, and what you'll find is when I have cards that are matching is that they're coded. Like for instance, the green ones would go together, and then you'd lay out the cards and then match what goes with it. So let's say I think the fork should go with the plate. Turn them over, they're both red spots, and that way the child can check and see if what they've done is actually correct without having to have anybody give them how to show them how to do it. They can show themselves, and that way they learn how to be self-sufficient. More cards. There's the small, medium, and large. And, excuse me, this one is barnyard animals, 3-part cards. So now I want to show you in my closet here where I keep a file cabinet. So in here, again, I mentioned there's going to be books, but there's also going to be like some cut sheets. And there's going to be, this is Life Cycle of a Butterfly, a couple butterfly books, dinosaur books. This is Earth, continents. So there'll be, along with cards, there's going to be, oh, the fish one's already out. Flowers, fruit, frogs, grammar. Here's some grammar things when you start going in that direction. Horse, insects, leaves, and math has got more of the blank cut sheets. So you're going to find in here things that you can copy over that the kids can color or count, pets, plants, reptiles, shells, objects, transportation tools, turtles, volcano. So some of these you recognize because we just looked at. You have a file for them, so when they're not on the shelf, they can be in here. Great. So there we go. This is, I do these about one a year, but this is my 6th one. So yeah, we're on year 6th. I do it because I used to be a Montessori teacher, but also it's a lot of fun imagining the children working with these objects. And so it's for sale, and you can buy just the objects or you can buy the shells too. Your choice. But feel free to contact me. I'm at portaltrees@gmail.com. Thank you.